I just built this n8n workflow for freelancers, and this is for a specific use case which is so important for freelancers obviously. So technically we freelancers do get maybe 30 to 100 client proposals per month, maybe due to according to the season and according to the clients requirements. There, in some cases we may also exceed 100 plus client queries also, but as we all know, right, so we can only close maybe 7 to 8 out of them. So, but there are some situations too where we even forgot to follow back and simply give them back our code, and we simply see that particular thing after a long time, when that particular client will simply found another freelancer or something like that. So technically we may simply lost in that whole loop of messages, and we, in some scenarios, we may lose some potential clients too. So to solve that particular situation, I just built this n8n workflow. So rather than just going directly to the execution part, let me just explain you how this whole system work. So here the automation system will gets triggered whenever the client simply submits this particular project requirement form, which I have built on top of jot form, because we can simply ask the copilot to simply create this form. So it is a bit easy for lazy people like me. So whenever a client simply submits this particular form, and the details that the client simply submitted here will come to here, to this particular jot form node, and from that node we will move the data to the AI agent node, and here is the exact AI prompt which we use to technically we will simply create a AI freelance proposal. Okay, so AI will simply write a customized proposal for the client project requirement, and it don't even do statically. Okay, so we will have a freelance document where we simply list what are the services that we are offering, and what are the prices, and are we open for negotiations or something like that, things like that. So the AI agent will simply just a second. So AI agent will simply use the client requirement and fetches our freelance our personal freelance document, which we where we have all from A to Z details about our freelancing preferences. So AI will simply write a personalized you know proposal, and it will simply it will simply write a an email subject and email body in HTML, and it will also write the whole thing, the project type, and there are some things. Just let me show you guys the sample. Yeah, so it will simply write the things like here. So it will simply checks whether the project was aligned or partially aligned or misaligned, technically based on our services that we provide, that are listed on that Google Doc, right? So it will simply understand the client's requirement based on the context, and it will simply categorize that particular project type into these three things. And there is the obviously there is a thing called confidence. So how confident was about was the classification of this particular project. Okay, so these two are completely aligned, and it was simply creates a summary about it, and budget, technically the client's budget and all. So if the particular client simply use these budget things, it will simply grab those. Okay, and obviously the proposal quality. So technically if the client was so goddamn too hurry to start from tomorrow or something like that, so it will take some other variables too, and understand the proposal quality. So it was high or medium or low. So what was the and it will also explains us what was the next step maybe. So based on these things, it will create an email, personalized email. That too a personalized email based on this next action. that that the AI will also be doing that everything over here, and it will simply do the whole uplifting work by itself. Okay, and after that we will save the project, I mean project requirement from the client to a Google Sheet, right? So these are the columns that that my Google Sheet do have: email and the full name of the client and the phone number of the client and the requirement and what was the project type and the confidence out of it and summary of the project, and if there is a budget and the email subject and the AI generated email body and all. So these are the these are the columns in my Google Sheet, obviously. And there is an if node, and so technically if the particular project type was at least aligned or partially aligned, so if the output, if that particular column do had align within it, I mean technically uh, I mean I had to change this thing, so sorry, I forgot about it. So let me just change it and come over here. Yeah, so I just updated the if node already, sorry, now. So the here it will check whether the particular project was uh, the project type was aligned or partially aligned, then it will move forward. If any other possible scenario, it won't even allow pass to it. Okay, so whatever only the partially aligned types and the aligned completely aligned project types were allowed to you know allowed to use the Gmail node. So obviously, so it will simply send the personalized email for those two project types. So this is the whole explanation of this particular automation system. So let's see things in action. Okay, so let's just go and simply submit this particular work form. Yeah, the form got submitted, and let's go to the execution part. Yeah, so it got succeeded, and if that got succeeded, then we might get a personalized email, right? So yeah. So see, here we got a personalized email and all. Okay, so that's how the whole thing works. That's it for today, guys.